Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. See me here at Simi Do Stitches, and it is time for a new Flosstube week. Yeah. So I'm gonna use my app to try and remember what all has happened this last week. So I think the last time I saw y'all, I just finished the Quirky Quaker Puffin. So I think I showed it to y'all, but I will show you again just in case I didn't. So I just finished that one. Other finishes, the hedgehog, have the bat, and the seahorse. So there's that. All right, so my plan was to continue on the brackets, right? So the idea is that, and I have my book here. Let me, because I was showing somebody the other day. Now, I will preface this to say I did not do my brackets, so you'll see that too. But here's what it looks like. And so you start out with 8 projects, and I had these 8. And what I do, like, you could set a specific amount of time or whatever that you give it. I was giving them 1 night each. So on the night that I worked on Sol Tropica, I got 434 stitches. On the night I worked on Spangled, I got 510 stitches. This means that Spangled gets to move on. And so Hummingbird Pixie was against Family Patchwork by Modern Folk Embroidery. Pixie got 464. Family Patchwork got 532. So Family Patchwork moved on. Aristocats versus Epic Pokemon. Aristocats got 300. Epic Pokemon got 507. So Epic Pokemon moved on. Moonlight Sampler got 408. Mystery Kitty got 301. So Moonlight Sampler moved on. Now, two things in my scheming last week that kept me from continuing on. First is that, so I told y'all I had the 23rd? No. Okay, when I said that, I hadn't worked on Mystery Kitty yet. Yeah. And so I was going to work on Mystery Kitty for the 24th. Or I had worked on it, but I hadn't finished stitching that night. So I had to work on that one for the 24th. The 25th, I was going to go back and work on Aristocats because I needed it to hit 500, even though it lost its bracket. That left the 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. That seems like a lot. That seems like... Anyways, my thought was 1, 2, 3, 4, right? No, I did do it right in my head. 1 night for each of them, and then I would have had 1 night. Anyways, I thought I had them all messed up. The other thing is that the next day when I was going to start on this, I started working on Mystery Kitty, and it wasn't the one that won. So it kind of messed everything up. So I said, this is a wash. This March just wasn't quite the March for that. So we just went on about our business. So Mystery Kitty did not get any more work that night that I recorded the Flosstube, because remember I said I was going to come back in and hopefully stitch, and I didn't. We went to bed. So then the next day, I worked on Puffin. Why did I work on Puffin? Oh, so on I need to check something. I've confused myself. 23rd, 4th. Okay. So the next day I went and I door dashed, and so while I was waiting for my session to start, I was able to finish the puffin. That's when I finished it, so y'all hadn't seen it yet. But now you have. So this is the puffin, Quirky Quaker Puffin from Darling and Whimsy. There's some stitching that's off here, so it doesn't look exactly right, but it wasn't worth messing with. And I did it in an Anchor 1345. It was a lovely variegation. I really liked it. So I finished that one on Monday. But I didn't get my daily 100 in because I was gone all night. By the time I got home and unloaded groceries and c'est la vie. So Tuesday night, Sunday, I had worked on Alice. I don't know if I showed y'all her or not. Worked on her Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 500 stitches this week. Plus whatever I had previously, which was only like 200 or 300, but still, I hit my monthly goal on Alice. So here's where she is at. We're getting good progress. We're finishing up this page. This is Mini Alice in a Dolly Dream from Jasmine Beckett Griffith, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. She's super cute. And I work on her for my daily 100 for this past week. And then this next week it'll be a different height, and then I come back to this one. So she's looking so good. We're at 46%, almost 47%. So she is looking really nice. All right, so she's gonna get put up for a week. You will see her soon. Where's her bag? Okay. So then on the 26th, I worked on her. And then I pulled out Mystery Kitty because I thought it was the one for the bracket. So I got I think I put in 300 more stitches on her all over in here. We're getting into the final section over here. I finished up down here for section 4. Pardon me. But the majority of it is up in here where her ears are. So that's where we were starting to fill in right there. This is Mystery Kitty from Kitty and Me Designs. It was a mystery stitch along that started January 1st. Had 4 parts that finished up on February 15th. So I'm just a bit behind. But I will tell you, you will see her next month as she got called for Whip Go. And I need to put another 500 stitches in her. So, well, this month, because it is April as of today. So I will be working on her again very soon. So I will put her right over here, because I'm in my stitchy spot tonight instead of out in the shed. Okay. So then the next day we worked on Alice again, and I worked on Mystery Kitty again. I know I worked on something else. No? That's weird. Six. Okay. So then the next night, I worked on Alice again, and I worked on Moonlight Sampler. because since I wasn't worrying about the brackets, this one could use some extra stitching. And I love it. So there's that. Mostly I worked here in this area, a little bit over in here. So I'm gonna put about 200 more stitches into it. This is Moonlight Sampler from the Blue Flower. It is on a 40 count Verdal and Whisper from Dreamer Bug Creations, which is my daughter who doesn't dye fabric anymore. But it came up really nice. So, and I'm doing it 1/2. It's such nice coverage. This 40 count Verdal is amazing. Do you see how good it looks? This is the one thing about spring. You get all the lovely allergens. Okay. So then after that, it was the 29th. So I made a pact with myself and some friends so we started things on leap year, February 29th, because it's a special day. It only comes around once every 4 years. And I started one piece from a few different series. One of which was that Puffin, which was the Quirky Quaker. I started a Mill Hill, not necessarily from a series, but Mill Hills kind of just, they are. March, Year of Celebrations, because I started the Year of Celebrations a couple years ago. I got through January and February, and then I just kind of dropped it. So I started March on February 29th. I started March Wordplay because it's another one I did a couple of and then petered out. And I started, no, those 4. So then the idea is, if I finish one of those 4 before the 29th of any preceding month, I can start the next one in that series on the 29th. So since I finished my Puffin, where did he go? Literally just showed him to you. Oh. So since I finished the Puffin, I could start another of my Quirky Quakers, and I have several of them already kitted up in this bag, and they've all, nothing's called for. I went through, but I have a ring of like random flosses that I don't have much other use for, and I pulled from it, and for several of the Quirky Quakers that I have. And so I let Vicky from Reading and Stitching pick which one from that list I was going to work on next, and she picked Quirky Quaker Unicorn. So I think I have cover picture. Nope. I do. Hold on one second. Done. My Notions is not one to cooperate. So here's what it looks like charted, which is a little hard to see, being tone on tone like that. So I chose, it was like white and a lavender or something like that. I chose this. This is Carrie's Creation Pansy Splash for the unicorn, the white parts. And then I chose Petite Treasure Braid for the colorful parts, like the mane and around the border. So I put 100 stitches into it on the 29th, and I got the body of the unicorn done and started a little bit on the border. Looks a little weird right now, but it'll get more soon. So yes, I actually might go with me tomorrow just in case my daughter ends up driving at all. I can stitch. All right. That's mostly when I work on those, is when I'm in the car for some reason. Okay. So then I thought, wouldn't it be a good idea if maybe I work on the other projects that I had started on February 29th, since I hadn't completed them before March 29th. So the next one that I worked on, and I put 200 stitches in, is the March wordplay. I had to borrow the Q-snap clamp earlier for something else. So here is where I'm at. This is In Like a Lion. Says Shamrocks. That key and part of the house. So, and it is on a tea coffee dyed fabric that I did years ago when I first started these. So I'll be able to put one here and one here. And I'll have to figure out the rest of the series. So March wordplay is from With Thy Needle. And I told you about the fabric. Okay. So we will just put that. So I gotta find the floss. Over there. All right, and then I did not get around to working on the Year of Celebrations that night, but I did put some more in the Mill Hill. Just not quite sure. Oh, there it is. So the Mill Hill that I started is Love Stitching. It's back there behind the beads. And I put another 100 stitches into it. Because again, I was trying to touch on each of them. And here is where I got to. So you can see pretty well through the perforated paper. See, I'm down in this white part down here. So put a little bit of stitching into that. I have to say I'm liking it better than the first time I did a Mill Hill, so that'll be good, because I do have a few that I would love to stitch up, and I had such a bad experience with the first one that I was like, well, maybe Mill Hills aren't my thing. But I decided to try again, and I'm considering them in general as a series. Just whatever Mill Hills I have. So I stitched on that one. Then the next night I worked on Alice again, and then I pulled out Aristocats because I needed those other 200 stitches to get the 500 on it for Whip Go, and I ended up putting in 1,000. Well, technically that's only 500 because it's 10th stitch, but it's 1,000 off of the total amount of stitches for this project, so I'm gonna call it 1,000. I just can't use it in my groups that way. But we're down at the bottom of the page. I actually completely finished this page. And we have moved into this page. And then I'll probably go back up. I'm getting all of the outline done before I put any color into it. So I could just color it in. Which is going to be a little daunting because Marie is going to take a lot of white. So, but 1,000 stitches, I didn't think was too bad. This is Toulouse here. Super cute. So, and it is from an Etsy designer called Cross Stitch for You, I think, on Etsy. All right, so that was Saturday night. Then it was Sunday, and it was time to switch full coverage projects. And I switched to Toulouse. Speaking of, you can't lay under the iPad right now. You can't lay there right now. Yeah, this is my Toulouse. And he doesn't like to be held, so just lay down. Okay, so I pulled out Mini Phantom of the Masquerade. This is by Melissa Dawn, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And it will be what I work on for my daily 100 for this week. So far, I think I just did this. I've done these two, maybe. Or no, I did this block here and then this block up here. So, and that was Sunday and today because I forgot to record last night. So, that is that one. And it's on a 28 count Lugana from Zweigart. I think it's called Golden Blossom. It might not be. Okay. And then it was the last day of the month and I wasn't sure what I wanted to work on. I had messed up the March bracket. I couldn't quite start on my April goals. And so I pulled out the last part of the round robin. I got this to lose. I got this a little while back, but there was kind of a pile up on me. Like 3 of them made it to me around the same time. So I didn't want to pile it up on the next person. So I decided to wait a little bit before I got to working on this one. Because y'all remember I did Spirited Mandala at the beginning of the month, or the beginning of the year, and Black Velvet at the end of last year. So I decided, oh, well, I'll pull it out and I will work on it for a little bit. Well, it went really well last night and I put in like 1,000 stitches last night. And so today, even though it's April 1st and I can move into working on my stitching goals, which we will discuss in a minute, I was like, let's just finish it up. Let's just finish it. And I was the last one to receive this round robin. So when I send it off, I'll be sending it to its original owner, which is Vic of Stitch and Button. So here is Ghostly Mandala from Ink Circles. All done. So, Vic did this section up here. Holly did this section over here. Then Sarah did this section down here. And I did this section over here. It is on a 32 count fabric flare fabric. I don't know the name of it, but it's cute and splotchy. I think she picked it up when we were at Cindy Surley's shop in Utah that I can't think of the name of right now. Yeah, that one. So, and she put her little needle minder of evil men. So we got Freddy Krueger and Jason and Mike Myers and Chucky. I'm not sure what the other 2 are. Does it say? I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. And it's going back to her. She marked the top so we would know. Oh, and we did it, we stitched in PR070. So it's like a gray black. Maybe a little darker than $37.99, but not quite $3.10 from Silks For You. So that is what that is. So that is all done and I will get it sent off to her shortly. So that's what I finished up tonight along with my stitching on Phantom. So next we have goals. It is April and so we have a new set of goals and I need my phone because I don't remember what they are. I haven't even picked my projects yet. That's how running behind I am. Let me get a drink. All right. Let's see. Number 1, newest start. So technically, my newest start is wordplay, March wordplay. So we're gonna work on it again in April. Number 2 is struggle bus. What am I struggle bussing with? What have I not really worked on lately? Let me go and look at my notions. Projects. Well, let's see what has the least amount of stitches. Other than my new ones, because that's not fair. Let's see. Angel of the New Dawn. Doesn't have very many stitches in it. So we're going to go with Angel of the New Dawn for struggle bus. Alright. So then, number 3 is new to you. So this is anything that you started. It's a whip that when you started it, something about it was new to you. A new fabric from a different fabric dyer than you've ever tried before, a new type of floss, and a new specialty stitch you've never worked on, a new designer you've never stitched on, etc., etc. So I'm gonna go into my patterns. I'm gonna create a filter. Now, I haven't added in all my categories yet, but let's see, let's go to January because I stitched on everything in January, and we'll add a filter for maybe let's see. I just show my I think I need to go in my projects. Nope. Oh, up here. Add a filter for categories, and then new to you. So what have I marked as new to me? Let's see. The Aristocats I never stitched on cross stitch V. That's the designer on Etsy. Family Patchwork is my first modern folk embroidery. Gift of Giving. Is that my first little Stitch Girl pattern? I guess it is. Celebrate Christmas was my first Madame Chantilly. Dark Queen of the Sea was my first Autumn Lane. Shangri-La was my first Kesslins. And Growth Rings was my first Ink Circles. Of those, the one with the least amount of stitching in it is Growth Rings from Ink Circles. So that's the one we're going to pick. All right. Less than 10 colors. Again, I don't know that I have marked all of the categories, but let's see what I have marked. Uncheck new to you, and we're going to check less than 10 colors. And what comes up? Family Patchwork, it's a monochromatic. Celebrate Halloween, I guess has less than 10. Shangri-La has less than 10. Growth Rings, and Year of Celebrations, March. So, we already know Ink Circles has the least amount of stitches because we're using it for a different category. So the next with the least is Shangri-La. So we're going to pull out Shangri-La for less than 10 colors. And least amount stitched. That one is going to be Year of Celebrations because it only has 100 stitches in it. I know it's new, but it's going to count for that. So, those 5. I need to go Newest Start is March Wordplay. Struggle Bus is Angel of the New Dawn. New to You, Growth Rings. Less Than 10 Colors, Shangri-La. Least Amount Stitched, March Year Celebrations. And then my 2 whip goes. One friend chose Mystery Kitty and the other chose a Moonlight Sampler. So you'll be seeing both of those again. And we didn't double dip. And then the 5 focus pieces. So we've got Haunted Mansion gets 200 stitches. World Postage Stamp gets 500 stitches. Spangled gets a new section. Fairy Tale Lands gets a new motif. And Minnie Alice in a Dolly Dream gets 600 stitches. And of course hers will be split up over the month since she's my daily 100 anyway. So those are the goals for April. And of course, they're what I'm going to jump into straight away. Probably not tomorrow because I've got a busy day tomorrow, but then soon after that. And before we decide how we're going to spend the rest of the month, that's gonna get knocked out. Then ideally, I will either spin a wheel and work on other whips, or do kind of what I'm doing with the categories and look and see what we've stitched the least on and give each thing a night. Something to that effect. So that is my plan for April. I don't think I have anything special or specific going on. The kids have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Like I said, that's why most of my day is taken up, because with where we live, we have to travel a lot for the doctor's appointments. And that is it. So on the business side of things, I am working on getting I've sent out everything from Market, and I've been slowly getting things that the extra stuff that I purchased in Market put up on the Facebook page in the March album, which it's going to kind of bleed into the April album. And I have been working on older stuff, everything before the beginning of the year, going onto my website. So I've updated to a new website, so I will link it below if you would like to check it out. And so that's where things will go to. So there's that. I also just got some new stuff in the mail today, so that will be going up on the site or on the Facebook page soon as well. I think that's it. Yeah. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you saw something you enjoyed and keeps you coming back for more. If you're a returning friend and subscriber, thank you for coming back week after week. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, all the ways that you show you love me, and I will see y'all next week.